Catherine. Welcome back to my channel where I make really questionable, reckless life decisions so you don't have to. It's been a minute since we did this. When's the last time I dyed my hair in a video? Like 7 or 8 months ago, I think. It was a while. Oh, there is a whole ass dead cockroach in the bottom of this box. Remember our girl Splat? F her. She's out of here. I went today to the Pretty People store and I got real hair dye. This is the Arctic Fox brand. It is in the color of Poseidon Blue. It was recommended to me by the beautiful people assistant person that, they work in stores. Not sponsored, but I am going to put an affiliate link down below. If you like the way this turns out, if you want to try this, I'm going to put an Amazon link down below to this product. I have been restless and distracted for the last couple days, more so than usual, like ADHD times 10 distracted. I don't like to call them symptoms. I prefer to think of them as being traits. My ADHD-ness has really been a thing. Over the weekend, I had a list of things to do. I had a bunch of videos to record. I had a bunch of budgeting, finance, grown-up things to do. It's not that I didn't do anything, but I didn't get everything done I wanted to get done. I was really struggling. I was in the total, I'm kind of bummed. I can't get motivated to get up and go. I'm kind of overwhelmed and stunned into total inaction. I have 50 things to do, but I'm not going to do any of them. I'm just going to sit here and be anxious about the fact that I'm not doing them, which I could cure by doing them, but I'm not. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Pro tip for bleaching your hair: if you get one of these kits that has the bottle and this packet, get you a Dollar Tree funnel. I have been thinking today about what the root of all this angst is, because it is causing some problems for me. I've been doing things like getting in my car to run an errand and sitting there for a minute because I couldn't remember where I was going. Working memory issues, really bad. And I haven't been as productive as usual. If I am doing a long-term project of any kind, something that's going to take a really long time to get together, and I feel, just frustrating moments where you keep hitting walls over and over and over again. And what happens to me when I feel stuck and frustrated is it immediately goes into that self-pity spiral of, oh, I've tried all these things before and they didn't work, and woe is me. There's no reason to keep trying. For a long time, I personally had a lot of spiritual beliefs that were really holding me back in life because they were telling me, no, everything is great and everything is awesome and you need to just see the positive things all the time and only look at the positive things, and you need to be full of gratitude all the time. And if you're not full of gratitude, it's because you have the wrong attitude. Sometimes the reason you're not full of gratitude and you're not feeling positive is because you're having an experience and you're in a situation in life that kind of sucks, because that happens to everybody. I'm not telling you to start bitching about everything that's bad and forget about being positive altogether. I'm just saying you're not imagining the negative things, okay? You are in fact living in a capitalist hellscape of a civilization right now. Politics, bad. Climate change, bad. U.S. foreign policy, not helping the world. It's valid to feel stressed out and upset about things, okay? But there's a difference between recognizing that your feelings and your experience is valid and taking your negative experiences and making them your whole damn personality, okay? That's where we have to stop ourselves. I am never here trying to lay a new age trip about look at the positive things only. That got me in a lot of trouble for a lot of years. I ignored a lot of really awful, abusive, horrible things going on in my life because I was trying so hard to only see the positive things in situations and people. Don't do that to yourself. So let's talk about for a minute about what we can do to help ourselves when we get into these doom spirals of there's no point in doing any of this. I'll never figure it out. It's too complicated. It's too much. I can't do this. Look at all the times I've tried doing this and it hasn't worked out. Do you know who Mel Robbins is? She's not like wooey or new age or like looking at the world through rose-colored glasses at all. She's actually, honestly, a little bit abrasive. There are times when I'm like, okay, like if I'm not feeling great about myself, I will hear her doing a lecture and I'm like, Mel, I hear what you're saying, but I can't right now. I need to be a little comforted in this moment. But she gives some really fantastic advice. And one of the things I heard her say once, we spend way too much time trying to control the way we feel about things and not nearly enough time practicing the skills and behaviors we need to have to make real improvements. Because I'm sorry to tell you this, your life is not going to get better just because you wished for it, prayed for it, thought positively enough about it, believed in it enough. Our lives only get better when we actually change things about ourselves and our situation. That's not to say that you don't have to change your mind and you don't have to like use at some level of positive thinking to achieve things. You do, because when you're in a bad place mentally, and by you I just mean me, I mean all of us, don't take this personally. When we are in a bad place mentally, we are unable to see the appropriate steps. Everything looks like a bad idea. There's a lot of research on this. When you're feeling very negative, it affects you cognitively. It will cause you to not see options that are available to you. And on the other side of the wooey, new age self-help gurus that are like, you just need to get in the right vibration to manifest. On the other end of that spectrum, we have the grind, hustle, work hard to achieve. You know, those kind of scam artists, they're usually like trying to victimize men a little more than women. The guys you see in these YouTube ads that are like shouting at you about how you need to be investing in this, that, or the other thing, and they have a class that's going to teach you how to do it. That's like the other end of the bad thinking self-improvement spectrum. Like, you just need to work hard and hustle, and you just need to want it bad enough. And if you don't achieve things, it's because you didn't really want it bad enough. Wanting isn't everything. Like, you have to change your behavior. And I was sitting at my desk today, and I was thinking about, you know, I'm feeling crummy right now, and I'm not going to get into all of it because my life isn't bad. What I was feeling crummy about doesn't actually matter in this context. But the, you know, other people have it worse than me thing, the problem with that thinking is, have you noticed it doesn't help you? It doesn't make any actual improvements in your life. Oh my God, bleach. I need to, ventilation. Disciplined, focused, logical part of my brain, when I found myself slipping into this sort of like, I don't like my job, I don't like where I live, nothing's changing, I'm miserable. When I started doing that today, because I was really antsy and anxious and just having a hard time like physically sitting still while I was working today. I have really reached a like boredom tolerance threshold with my job right now. And I don't have a bad job. Something can be okay and good and still not be right for you. It doesn't use any part of my brain. I don't enjoy it. There's no room for growth financially for a lot of reasons. It's just, I just want the situation to improve. I saw a video, I'm going to put his name here. I can't remember his name, but there is a really good shrink out there who makes some YouTube videos, and he makes a lot of content about ADHD that I find really helpful. And one of the questions he was asked was about like natural ways to treat ADHD without medication. And he said, you know, there are some things you can do. You can, of course, you can exercise, you can eat a higher protein diet, and he named a few supplements. But then he said, the most important thing, and this really jumped out at me, he said, the most important thing you can do to help your ADHD naturally is get yourself into a job that you love. If you can do that, that was, in his belief, the single best natural thing you could do. Get in a job that you care about, that you love, that holds your interest. It's like this old negative voice in my head that is somebody else's voice that's like, wah wah, poor you don't like your job. What do you think, you're special? Lots of people don't like their job. Who cares if you don't like your job? Just suck it up and work anyway. May she rest in peace. That's my mom's voice. My brain suddenly was just like, you know what you need to do today, Catherine? You don't need to make yourself feel better about not liking this job. You know what? If you're in a bad mood because something is going on at work and you just don't care for it, that's okay. You don't need to feel better in this moment. You don't need to have a better attitude. You don't need to have a better outlook. You don't need to find something you love about your job in this moment. You don't like it right now? Then you don't like it. Okay. You need to be okay with not being okay with it. You also don't need to just sit around trying to find all the reasons why everything is actually fine the way it is, and you shouldn't complain about it. It's not complaining to want better. What you need to be doing is not sitting around trying to mess with your feelings and convince yourself to be in a happy, positive mood right now. What you need to do is focus on behaviors that will allow you to get done the things you need to get done to make changes. That's what I need to be doing. You have to change your behavior. Duh. It's the most obvious thing in the world. If you don't do anything different, nothing different is going to happen, no matter how hard you prayed for it or wished for it. Okay, well that's great. How do I go about doing that? This is what's been working for me, and this is where I've had breakthroughs. Now keep in mind, you are taking advice from a woman on the internet with a trash bag on her head right now. I want you to stop and think about the choices you have made in your life that have brought you to this moment. Getting in a better mood matters, okay? Improving the way I feel about a situation makes a difference in the situation. Not because feeling better changes things in and of itself, though. I used to think that. That was the false belief I took on from excessive new age pseudo-Christian self-help kind of culture. And all those beliefs was that all I had to do was kind of align myself with something. All I had to do was get myself into a better mood, and that was going to make everything better. No, you have to get into a better mood, because that's when that's what will allow you to change the behavior. Getting in the better mood in and of itself, or feeling better, or being happier, or being grateful, doesn't change the circumstances. It's kind of a means to an end in this case. It's like, I need to get myself feeling better so I can then do the things I need to get done. This is what I needed to do. Number one, walk away. Continuing to beat your head against this wall right now will not make any improvement. Take a breath, move away, do something that will relax you and make you feel happy and make you feel calm right now. That will help. But don't stay there. Don't say, I'm going to take a few minutes to relax and calm down and feel better, and then spend the whole night eating Cheetos and looking at YouTube. Okay? The point is not to feel better. The point is, I feel better so I can do better. So I did that. I kind of go away. I go for a walk. I think I ate a little ice cream or something. I do some kind of happy things. And then I sit down and I'm like, okay, I am a data nerd. That's why I thought I could be a software engineer. That's why I thought that whole software engineer, web developer career thing, that's why I thought it was possible. Make a spreadsheet of all your videos and all the stats on them, and look at them and sort them. Sort them by the number of views. Sort them by the amount of watch time. Sort them by the number of people who clicked on it. Sort your video data and look at what performs well and see what other people want to watch. And it doesn't mean, if you're a creative person, that you only start doing things for other people, because that's not sustainable. We all know that. It's the plight of the tortured artist everywhere. You have to do things that are fulfilling and genuine to you, and you also have to keep in mind that you have an audience, and if you're expecting an audience to respond to something, there has to be something in it for them. Speaking is so hard. So I did that, and can I be honest with you? I was not in a good mood while I was doing it. It was boring, it was tedious, It was frustrating. It was really hard to go through videos that I spent hours and hours and hours working on and be logging in the view column, 30 views, 13, 17. When you can't tell the number of minutes watched versus the number of views you got, when you mix those columns up, you can't even tell those two pieces of data apart. You know you're not a successful YouTuber. But I really went through it and I was like, what have I really loved making that has also performed really well for me on my channel? And the top thing was the last video I did the last time I ruined my hair. So here we are. I finally got in my head, it's like, Catherine, you need to do both things. You need to do better and you need to push yourself, and you also need to make yourself feel better so it can be something you can sustainably do. Don't sit down and force yourself to make that 7-part video about neurotransmitters right now, because it's going to be hard, it's going to be tedious, and you're really, your emotional meter is real low. Do something fun but productive. And when you're in the better mood, you'll be able to really edit and really think about your job search and make a healthy dinner that will do something good for your body, and I don't know, maybe it will help my brain too. Something that you love, and let it roll into something that is productive. That was a really long, dramatic speech. I hope some of it was helpful. I swore to God I wasn't going to do this, but I went out and bought another bleach kit. Do you see this? This pink said, F you. This pink was like, nah, I ain't leaving. Went out and got a 40 volume developer. Thank God, because I was starting to worry that this video was going to go by without me doing anything stupid or dangerous to myself, and y'all weren't going to be entertained. My sideburn areas on both sides, like, look at that. Look at that. The worst bleach job ever. This one also came with one of these, like, brushes I never use. Look at this. That's complicated. I don't want to do that. While I was in Walgreens, I resisted the urge to buy candy because I am an adult. I have executive function. I can control my impulses, even though they had both the crunchy and chewy nerd clusters at this particular Walgreens. Sometimes you just gotta take a win anywhere you can get one. That is 40 volume developer. Go hard or go home, baby. So that shrink I was talking about before I got distracted, shockingly, you know, the guy who said that the best thing you can do as an adult with ADHD is get yourself into a job that you really love. I felt so validated hearing a professional say that, because for most of my life, I believed that jobs were awful and boring and torturous in their definition. And I have been continuously employed for my entire adult life. Like, I've always had a job and worked and paid bills like a grown-up. And I have always kind of struggled with it, except for times when I was self-employed. I had a cleaning business for 6 years, and I was a freelance graphic designer for a couple of years. Those jobs were doable for me because I could manage my own time. I've always had this idea that the issue I had with jobs was not that I was in the wrong kind of job for me so much as I was just immature. What kind of messed up mentality is that? That's a thing to sort out in therapy, isn't it? The pink didn't all lift out. I wasn't expecting, it's still kind of dark in some spots. I wasn't expecting it all to come out in one go though. I know some of this will come out blue and some of it will come out like a bluey purple, but before was just unacceptable. So now we're going to do, this is a new step in my hair dyeing routine. I haven't shown this on camera before. We're going to do this protein reconstruction treatment. My hairdresser put me onto this. He's a good guy. You put it in your hair after you bleach it and before you dye it, and it bonds with your hair and gives the hair dye something to stick to, because when you over bleach your hair, you're punching so many holes in it that the dye has nothing to attach to, and that was why my hair dye wasn't sticking very well. It's like a fruity coconut scent. It smells like Las Vegas. Like, it smells like the lobby of Treasure Island. I love it. To leave this in for 3 minutes. I always do 15 because I don't follow the directions ever. Oh, guys, I have to get a queer hairdresser Like, I love my hairdresser. He's a great guy. He is he's married to the woman it's like a husband-wife business. They own a salon together. She does nails and he does hair, and they've owned this salon for like many years, and they have this kind of inspiring story about how they built it together. But, and they're really sweet people, and it's nice, but it's like also very like suburban. So when I go in there, I the last time I went in, he did such a great job cutting my hair. He did exactly what I told him to do. But I have a very, very hard time explaining visual things verbally because I always over-explain. So I just brought in like a couple pictures of a little haircut I wanted, and he did such a nice job, and it looked so cute, but it was like just so plain Jane. Like, he's always trying to make me look cuter and prettier. And I just need a cut that's like a little more butch than what he's used to doing, but not like a total men's style, you know? I feel like I just need some queer hair people who will understand what I mean when I try to explain that. I need more queer people in my life in general. It's not like they don't exist where I live. I just don't know how you meet other people who are like you in the Delaware, which is like the place where strip malls go to die in America. Who actually respected their body and their sleep cycle and went to bed at a reasonable time instead of obsessively staying up till 2 in the morning getting their hair dyed? This is a look. I love this. This is so much fun and so cute. Wow, this smells so good. It smells like Jolly Ranchers or Kool-Aid or something. I love smells. Oh yeah. For several years of my life, not that long ago, I was really into this idea that's like, I need to look adult. I need to look professional so I can be taken seriously. Now I just feel like I need to look like you. No one in the corporate world is taking me seriously. Nobody can even see me when I'm at work. I do not need to look cool or professional for anybody at this point. What I want to look like is thing 2. With enough belief and enough effort, we are going to achieve that here tonight. I love this dye. It's nice and thick. It's easy to work with. It's 1,000 times better than the Splat was. And I believe it was the same price. It was $10 or $15. I feel like everybody else I see doing this on YouTube is always like sectioning their hair very carefully and using the little brush. I can't. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm gonna look like a wig at Party City. And there's a link in the description to this. It comes in this little Capri Sun pouch.
We were telling some funny childhood stories, like the time I got my head stuck in a chair. And the bus driver was like, "It's your stop, so get off." She was like, "Get off!" She was a bit tired of us. I was like, "Oh, I want to ask him out to the dance." Yeah, and he was like, "Oh my God, the magic giraffe, the magician giraffe man."
If you're one of the people who's just here for the mental breakdowns, I think this video has probably been a little disappointing. But this hair, do you see this hair? First impressions of the Arctic Fox dye. It's 1,000 times better than the cheap drugstore crap I was using. Again, there is a link down below if you want to try it yourself. It didn't make a huge mess. It didn't get everywhere, and it washed out really fast. Like, I washed my hair once and it was done. When I used the Splat, I could stay in the shower for an hour washing my hair and it would not stop bleeding out. It was ridiculous. We'll see how well it holds up. I will report back for everybody who's interested in that. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you.